Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Sister Sayyida Al Salaam with you. I welcome you back to our series, Our Young Muslimah. Today is our last and final episode. I don't know where the time flew. But I am very happy that we did this together. And we covered a lot of topics, and today the topics that I'm going to cover is also going to be like the finale of it. But if you the group is still open, if you have any more questions, you can go ahead and ask me, or if you have any reflections, you want to share some stories, or you want to direct message me about any issue that you're facing, I'm more than happy to help you out, and I'm right here, not going anywhere. In our last episode, we discussed how Islam does not shy away from discussing puberty, which is a human physical development. But I would like to talk a little bit about intimacy also, because Islam talks about intimacy too, whichever deen treats these subjects without any shame, with ultimate dignity, clarity, and haya, modesty. I have heard, there was this young boy once, he told me that, he tried this, he tried, how do I say this, being intimate with another girl, only because, he said that he saw this on videos and movies and thought it was very glorified, and he wanted to try it out. But we need to understand that, in Islam, our bodies are an amana, a sacred trust given to us by Allah. I know puberty brings about all these feelings where you feel like you like somebody, and it's okay. I feel, I know your parents are going to be like so super mad at me if I say this, but yes, I tell this to my own children that it's okay to like somebody, it's okay to have feelings for somebody because it's natural, but we need to stop at that. If we take it to the next step where we are speaking to them, we're just texting them, we're just asking them about homework, or we are just chatting with them, it's not like we're doing something, that's where you need to stop. You like somebody, you have feelings for them, you think that they're cute, it's fine, that's natural. But if you take it to the next step, you build it into an action, that's when the sin, the guna, the zina starts. So that's where you need to protect yourself. And Allah has given us, that's what I tell my kids, and I tell you also, that's why Allah has given this blessing of marriage. And then you'll be like, there's still so much time for me to be married, I don't want to marry so soon, I have still a career, I want to study, my parents would never agree, so just let me take this avenue, where I can explore, I can speak to somebody, just speaking. As of now, it's just a very slippery slope. It's a very dangerous slippery slope. Once you slip, you go all the way down. So I would ask you to be careful. You think that you're just talking, you think you're just text messaging, and then once you know that, you have each other's trust, all of a sudden there's this one moment where you both are feeling very close to each other. They might ask for a nude picture, or may say that can we meet up, just a coffee, and then you're just shaking hands, and then the next thing you're hugging, kissing, or you have gone to the next level. It just take one step, and that's it, and then you go down. But that's where I'm asking you, I'm speaking to you, I'm asking you, like, if you really want this, you should speak to your parents. I don't know how the parents take it, I'm going to speak to your parents too, but I believe this, that if you believe that oh, I feel this need and I like this person, explore the concept of nikah, then explore the responsibility of nikah. If you want to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, why don't you ask them, like, if you are ready to take that responsibility on. Now you will say, like, you have to give the rights of your girlfriend or your boyfriend. You have to give them the rights. And what are the rights? The rights are that you should be in a halal relationship, you should be in a nikah, and then you should be able to take the responsibility on, like taking care of them, cooking for them, doing the laundry and stuff like that. And then I'm sure I can hear most of the girls say, ew, I'm not doing any of that. Or the boys, for example, the boys have to take on the responsibility of taking care of them, giving them pocket money, taking care of their studies, buying clothes for them, buying them makeup, and buying everything for them. Is that okay for you? And the boys will be like, no, I'm still studying, man. I don't even, nobody's gonna hire me part-time also, leave alone full-time. And that's where it is.
Oh my God.
All you guys want is just that, how you show in the movies, like, you guys are going out, having fun on your parents' money. You dress up with the best dress because your father bought it to you. You dress up with the makeup your parents bought you, and then you go to him and show yourself to him, and then he's like, wow, you're so pretty and stuff like that. And then he buys you gifts from his parents' money. Do you see that? You guys are maintaining each other, maintaining this relationship over your parents' money. But once this moves out and you go into the halal one, that's when you know that, relationship, sorry, madam, relationship with Allah has created for us. It's more than, it's more than that. It's more than holding hands, and being intimate, more than just giving gifts to each other and so on. I've seen a lot of ugly young breakups also, where they're like, oh my god, I love him, I love her, and then 2 months down the line, 1 month down the line, they have this ugly breakup. Why? Because the boy thinks, oh, you know what, I can't maintain her anymore. Even on my parents' money, I can't maintain her anymore. I like somebody else. She's the one who buys me stuff. She buys me stuff. She buys me cookies. She buys me coffee. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna drop this girl like a hot potato and then go move on to the next one. So think about this. Think of this as a responsibility, as something that you need to maintain, as something which is a blessing, a ni'mah from Allah. And when you do, believe me, when you do, I feel, at least me, I feel it's beautiful. And this is what I advocate to all my kids, that this is beautiful and you get to have this. You get, even 15 years down the line, we still like spending time with each other. We still like to hold hands, still like to do something together as a couple. But we have our responsibilities. I do take care of him and he does take care of me. And then there is no ugly breakup. We do fight, we do argue, but at the end of the day we choose each other. At the end of the day we want to still be with each other. And that's something beautiful, and that's something sacred, and that's something, a blessing that you get from Allah, only when you go the halal way. Yeah. So having said that, I want to move on. But I was talking about makeup. Maybe I want to talk a little bit more about the makeup one, how it's a big, it's a multi-billion-dollar beauty and fashion industry. Okay, they spend billions on targeted algorithms, social media ads, and influencer campaigns with one single target: to make you feel insecure. I see people with these swollen lips. I call it swollen lips. I know you guys think, oh, it's so beautifully full lips. No, I think it's swollen lips. And I keep thinking, how do they eat? What if it burst? I don't know. I get all kind of weird ideas in my mind, and I think they're very funny. They're very cartoonish. But yeah, I mean, I saw this girl recently who was I saw this girl recently who is how do I say this? Who is who had these lashes, these huge, thick lashes. She had these huge, thick lashes, and I kept on thinking, I kept on looking at her, and I'm thinking, how does she? That's just not. First I felt it felt very heavy on her eyes. Every time she would blink, I would think, oh my god, that's so torturous. I mean, every time you blink and you would think that there's just something heavy coming down and then going up, and then it bars your vision. I mean, I don't think she can see the whole room, because the top of it is covered by her thick lashes. But all of this, it's to make you insecure. When you stand in front of the mirror, you think, oh, my nose is too big, my eyes are too small, my lips are too thin, my color isn't the best. But believe you me, Allah has created you in the perfect form. And then you go, no, Sister Sayyida, we are not perfect. Look at my nose, it's so big. I wish I could have the symmetrical nose which people have. And it's so cheap right now. All these procedures are extremely cheap. It's like, if I want to go away with coffee for a month, I can just go get my lips done or my nose done. That's how cheap they have made it and so available they have made it. But you need to know, when I say that Allah has made you in the perfect form, I'm not talking about the physical form. Allah has created you in the perfect form as a ruh, the ruh that's inside of you. You know, there are two layers to us, right? There's a physical form, and then there is a ruh. There is a ruh inside of us. There's a spiritual form inside of us. And Allah has created us in the best way. So even if you don't get the best physical form over here, Allah has still created somebody who will still love you. It'll be your parents, your future husband and wife, or it'll be your friends who love how funny you are, who love how intelligent you are, who love everything about you. So yes, there are people who love you just the way you are. I'm sure you must have had that. And when you hear that and you're like, nah, I'm ugly, and then people say, no, you are not, you're beautiful inside and out. But that's how it is. That's what Allah says in the Quran, that Allah has created you in a perfect form. And are you actually accusing Allah that, yeah, Allah, I'm not perfect because my nose is too big or my ears are too alienish? But no, Allah is the fashioner, yeah, and He has fashioned you in the most beautiful way. And you would only know this when you go to Jannah. We live over here in a temporary life with very few days, and then we have to go back. Once we leave this world and we go back, we see our perfect form, and you'll be like so stunned. You'll be like, oh my God, I'm so beautiful, that none of the people who showed you on social media can't even compare to that. There are hurs, right? The hurs of Jannah, and they're supposed to be very beautiful because they're called the hur. But even putting all those 40 hurs together, still you're beautiful over them. Did you know that in Jannah you are more beautiful than the hurs? So can you imagine how Allah has created you in the perfect form? So we need to let go of the social media, because Islam liberates you from this rat race. Allah does not elevate your worth based on your waistline, your clothing label, or your followers count. You are valuable to Allah, and because He breathed soul in you. Don't let these corporations manipulate your insecurities just to profit off your self-doubt. So I do understand some of us, even me, I buy stuff, yeah, but I don't go overboard. I won't be like, oh my God, there is this $300 moisturizer that says that it works miracle. I need to have this $300 moisturizer. No, you don't. I'm sure you will live without that. Let's talk about hijab for a bit, okay? When I'm talking about fashion and beauty, I want to talk about hijab just a little bit. When you wear the hijab for the sake of Allah, you make an intentional statement. My body is not public property. My beauty is not for public consumption. I choose who gets access to my space, and I submit only to my Creator, not to human trends. So hijab is an act of devotion, just like your salah, your fasting, your Quran. It's an act of ibadat. And the previous ones also, which I have spoken about, where you think when you accept Allah has created into the perfect form, that's also ibadat. When you hold yourself over intimacy, even if you like somebody, you don't speak to them, you don't go to the next level, and you wait for the halal moment to happen where you are nikahfied, and then that's also ibadat. When you hold yourself, when you are nikah, you spend time with him, that's again ibadat. All of this is ibadat. So hijab is an act of devotion, strength, spiritual independence. Never let anyone convince you that obeying Allah makes you weak. Wear your crown with dignity, pride, and unapologetic. Be an unapologetic Muslimah. So I want to talk a little bit about mental health. When I said you don't have to apologize and be an unapologetic Muslimah, you do not need to dilute your principles, alter your values, or compromise your deen just to receive applause from people who do not share your ultimate goal of Jannah. Be the representation of Islam through character, akhlaq, ikhlas, your brilliance, and your steadfastness. Recently I read this. There's this Pakistani influencer, beautiful girl. I saw her on the social media. I didn't see her personally, but I saw her on the social media. and I saw that she was a very pretty girl. She was an influencer with million followers, yeah. And when the janaza was happening, because she was killed or she died, something happened. I can't remember the whole story. So basically, when I saw the janaza photo, but I saw that there was a janaza, and there were very few people, a handful of people. I like to assume family, like cousin brothers, uh, parents, I don't know, but just a handful of people. I mean, to think that this woman, this young woman who's beautiful, and she put herself out there, and she does all these things, maybe dance. I don't know. I have not seen her, but it's just like a news feed which I had read. So, but I know most of them do that. They show off their beauty. They show off their different dance moves, sing songs, talk about what they use, and the different kind of beauty products that they use, and so on. And then you have this million people who follow you, and then when your janaza is read, people forget you. They don't even come. They don't even make dua for you. How good are these people? And one of the things that I have learned, because I'm from the psychological background, and I like to inculcate Islam in it. And one of the things that I have always connected, or I was able to connect, is every nafsiyati problem. Nafsiyati is a mental problem, yeah, mental health problem, is directly related to your weakness of deen or Islam. So if you're struggling with anxiety, sadness, stress, heavy emotional burdens that young women carry today, first let us be clear. Experiencing mental health distress, clinical depression, anxiety does not mean your lack of faith or iman, that Allah is angry with you. Okay, no, Allah is not angry with you. Maybe you are on a different path, and that's making you sick. Like for example, you pray, you read Quran, and you fast. It's the same way as you eat food, you sleep, or you go to the bathroom. Yeah. So if you stop eating for a few days, or you stop going to the bathroom, or you don't sleep for the next 3 days, what's going to happen? You're going to start becoming weak. You might faint, you feel dizzy, you feel cranky, you feel irritated, you're screaming at everybody. You need to eat, you need to sleep, you need to go to the bathroom. Because if you don't go to the bathroom, I know you guys are like, oh, why is she talking about bathroom? And yeah, because if you don't, it says that the feces, or the feces which stays inside of you, it's supposed to come out. If it does not, it turns into poison, and then you die. And that's how serious that is. That's why you need to go to the bathroom, and it's not you. So moving on. Having said that, it's the same way. Like I said, we have two layers, yeah, one inside, one outside. So when you are taking care of your outside physical form by eating, sleeping, and going to the bathroom, and you feel better. You don't fall sick. Yeah. Now it's the same way with our inner ruh, spiritual soul. Okay. When you pray, when you read Quran, when you fast, you feel better, and you don't go through all these nafsiyati, mental problems. But having said that, if you are eating too much of sugary drinks, soda, fast food, trash food, and all of this, yeah, you could feel the oiliness coming on your face. You get all these pimples on your face, you're sluggish, you're gaining weight, you look ugly, your hair is falling off, and everything because of what you eat. And you're not sleeping well, you get dark circles, and you're not feeling well. Yeah, that's how it is. When we don't pray, when we don't fast, when we don't read Quran, our inner ruh starts to feel that anxiety, feel it in as anxiety, depression, stress, irritableness, and so on. When you do take care of your physical form, I don't know if I'm making sense, but I hope I am. When you do take care of your physical form by going to the gym, running, eating good healthy food, all of a sudden people are praising you. Wow, you're glowing, you look so good, what have you been doing? And everybody wants to know that. It's the same way. I need you to build your connection with Allah. Other than fasting, reading Quran, and praying, these are the things that will maintain your health, inner health. Yeah. But if you go beyond that, think of everything as an ibadat. When you say salam to your sister, when you move away from something that's not that's haram, or you do something that's halal, but you do it with the intention of Allah, not to please people, because I've seen a lot of people, like, they put on hijab and then they want to show, like, yay, there are different types of hijab. They take off the hijab, they put on the hijab, and you can see that, or that maybe Allah knows best. Yeah, I agree, Allah knows best, but the intention does not show on their faces. It just does not show, and it bothers me, when people go to Makkah, Medina, spend all that amount of money, energy, effort, only so that they have, the video is on and they are speaking to the followers, I'm right over here right now, blah blah. When you are connected with your followers, are you connected with Allah? My question to you all, maybe I am wrong, maybe what I think is wrong, maybe you guys know better, but when I am sitting over there, tears in my eyes, and only speaking to Allah, the only person I want to connect to is Allah, nobody else in the world, and I'm thinking, Allah, do you hear me? I'm sitting right here in your house, in front of the Kaaba. I want to speak to you. I want you to know that I'm here. I'm doing this right now. I'm making wudu. I'm praying. I'm sitting here for you. I spent all this money and effort for you, not for anybody else, for you. Please be there for me. Or, hey guys, I'm standing in front of the Kaaba right now, I'm touching the Kaaba right now, and now this is Zamzam, we're going to drink this, and stuff like that. Who are you connected to? It's my question to everyone out there. Who are you connected to? And if I'm wrong, please do correct me. I don't mind being corrected. I'm just a Muslim. Just a Muslimah who's still learning how to, learning out about Islam, learning about how to connect with Allah, learning about being a better Muslim every single day. And that's why here I am talking to you, helping you, and taking this platform to talk to you. So one of the things that helped me is dua. Dua is a direct, unmediated line of communication to our Creator, the Lord of the heavens and the earth. You do not need an appointment, or you do not need anybody else. Like, you don't have to tell people, oh, can you make dua for me? I have this test coming up. Please, can you? I know that your dua gets accepted every time. Can you make dua for me? No, Allah loves you too. Make that dua. Yeah, it's okay to ask your mom and dad. Maybe it's okay to ask your friend too. But you make that dua. You ask Allah, because Allah loves you. Or you don't even need perfect words. When you feel overwhelmed by societal expectations, school, family pressures, you feel that you are misunderstood by the world around you, raise your hand. Pour out your heart to the one who knows your silent pain before you even speak it. Even before you speak it. Even before, I felt this many times. If I was hurting, I'll just make dua, sit on the prayer mat, and even before the words could come out, I could feel myself crying. I could feel myself being hugged, being embraced with Allah, that I know it's okay, I understand, I'm here for you. And then I would say, yeah, yes Allah, I know you're here for me, but this is what's bothering me, this is what's hurting me. Allah promises us in the Quran that with hardship comes ease. Inna ma'al usri yusra. Inna ma'al usri yusra. Hold tight to your daily salah. Surround yourself with righteous companions who uplift your soul and pour your cares into a sincere dua. You are strong, you are chosen, you are loved by Allah, who is in your side. You have everything you need to navigate this world with grace and strength. Wa akhir al-da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. This is the last of our series. I make dua for every Muslim out there, every young Muslim out there, every young Muslimah out there. I hope this series means to benefit you in some way. May Allah accept this from me. Astaghfirullah. May Allah forgive me for anything that I might have said out of knowledge. May Allah forgive me if I have said something which was wrong, and may Allah accept this from me, accept my efforts from me. And if any of you are in distress and you have nobody to talk to, you feel alone, yes, do talk to Allah. And then if you need help, please go ahead and DM me, direct message me, put yourself out in the comments over there. And yes, I am there for you to help you navigate this this life, what we call it. this temporary life that we are here in. And I'm ready to talk to you about the different topics that you all are going through. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.